Top 5 types of jewelry that we initially pierce with. Coming up next on Piercing Top 5, extended version, episode number 6. For those that are new to the Body Piercing and Tattooing channel, welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Hope you're finding them helpful and useful, but you might not know who I am. My name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio, located right here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. So what we're going to talk about is a pretty common question or something that comes up in comments on a regular basis. What type of jewelry should I be pierced with? This is kind of an overview of giving you a clear understanding of what the 5 most common types of jewelry that are pierced with are, and a little bit about how they work. Starting with number 5, catty bead or beaded ring. Catty bead rings, they're basically, it's right there in the name. They're a ring that holds a bead captive. They're usually circular, of course. They have a section that is actually cut out. The bead or ball or whatever setting has 2 little dimples on both sides, and they lock into place, and then the ring holds it captive. So thus, captive bead rings. The other option would be beaded, where it's fixed on one side. Usually you can tell the difference of whether or not you have captive bead or beaded ring is if you try to spin the bead or closure one way or another, or the ball. If it spins, then you probably got a captive bead ring. If it doesn't spin, you have a beaded ring. And they do need to be removed slightly differently and may take a little bit more skill. Now, these are used in areas where circular jewelry is still pierced with. Mostly genitalia piercings, to be honest with you. They could be used in daith piercings. They could be used in septum piercings. For the most part, though, they're not used a lot for anything else. And if somebody comes at you and starts using one, it may not be the best option or the best type of jewelry for that piercing. Now, lip piercings can be done with these, though you're going to have a much longer healing period, and it's going to be more prone to problems. Number 4, the standard barbell. This is a straight post with 2 balls. Both balls unscrew. Internally threaded is your best option, which means that the threading comes off the ball and threads into the post itself like a screw. These are used in a number of genital piercings. These are used in nipple piercings, tongue piercings, helix to helix industrials, and most industrial piercings are done with straight barbells. They can also be used in various different ear piercings and etc., but for the most part, these are the most common ones, or places that they're used for piercings. That moves us on to number 3, circular barbells. Circular barbells are used in places where curved jewelry or circular jewelry can be used to pierce with, mainly genital piercings, but also septum piercings and daith piercings. They're a lot more common in those places than other places, just basically because they're an easy piece of jewelry to use initially, as far as the guide pin, etc. It doesn't require as much skill, and there's less likelihood of error when doing the transfer from the needle to the jewelry if you have a guide pin. That's a problem when you're using jewelry like rings or beaded rings, because there really isn't any way to attach a guide pin to that stuff. And so there's an increased likelihood of it separating during the transfer. Now, like I said, mainly used in, we use them mainly in daith piercings and septum piercings. They're used a lot, to be honest with you. And the reason why, especially with septum piercings, is they can be adjusted and expanded so that it's easy to flip the jewelry up if you need to during the healing process or afterwards. Now let's move on to curved barbells. Curved barbells are used for navel piercings, is probably the most common, or though a lot of people call them navel bars or something like that. The reality is it's a curved barbell. The only thing that's different is possibly the size of the ends, the balls. They're used in various different ear piercings like rooks, also snugs, can be used in antitrachus, and anywhere where it's more of a hilly location, it works best, or where it needs to have that curvature to fit comfortably in the body. For example, eyebrow piercings would be another one because it's kind of more like a hill. We want to have it go a little deeper into the tissue, but still kind of sit at the top. And the last one, number 1, Labret studs. Labret studs, commonly threadless anymore opposed to threaded. There's kind of 2 types. There's threadless, which has a bent piece of wire that creates a friction hold when it's pushed in. And then there's the threaded, which actually thread in like a screw, just like the barbells. There's actually, you can get threadless and curved barbells too. I have seen circular barbells, but I really haven't used them. And also standard barbells. The one advantage that it has over threaded jewelry is that when you're trying to get side-facing gems or something that needs to face straight out, a lot of times with threaded jewelry, it's difficult to get it so that when it's at that tightening point, it doesn't go past being straight out and forward or forward-facing the way you want it to. So with threadless, you can kind of adjust it so that it's always forward. Now, these are used on a majority of ear-style piercings from conchas, lobes, trachea piercings, antitrachea piercings, helixes, upper ear piercings, forward helixes, flats, and just about everything in between. They are also used, especially the threaded type, for lip piercings, labrets, anything that's on the bottom lip, or even the beauty marks and medusas and stuff that's on the top lip. It's a very versatile piece of jewelry that's used in a lot of places. Also in nostril piercings, it's probably one of the most common pieces of jewelry used now for nostril piercings. Well, that's a basic rundown of what is the most common type of jewelries that are used when piercing. What's the worst case of a piece of jewelry that was put in a fresh piercing that you experienced? Me, it was cat bead rings in my nipples, but that was the standard back then. But till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care, and check out this other video.